welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's recipe, oh my god, I cannot tell you how much I have been craving Pav Bhaji during this entire lockdown, and I thought it would be this extremely intimidating recipe, and it's really not. It's so simple. I've made this so many times. If you follow me on Instagram, then you've seen me make this, and if you aren't following me on Instagram, I can't imagine why. I share a lot of recipes as I'm cooking, as I'm experimenting. I share a lot of information, and you get like a little peek into my life. So if you aren't following me, please do. So for this Pav Bhaji recipe, it's a little bit different. Actually, it's very different from what you probably expect, because if you look at a Pav Bhaji that you eat on the street or at a restaurant, it is loaded with butter. And while I love butter, I just feel like sometimes it's a little bit too much, and it's also got like these fiery red food color that they use, and I don't use that. In fact, actually in my recipe there's hardly any butter, but of course if you want more you can add it. Even the vegetables that I've used are super basic, so I've just used tomato, onions, some capsicum, and of course to bulk it up I've used potato and cauliflower. In fact, I put more cauliflower than potato because once it's mashed down you can't even tell the difference. It is so good. So this is really my home style, homemade, more like a rustic Pav Bhaji. I have not used a Pav Bhaji spice mix, so I've actually just used regular spices. It's incredible. If you want more details, or if you want to know more about the Pav Bhaji or its history, everything will be linked below in the description box in my blog post. It has all the ingredients, it has the step-by-step recipe, so you can go through that as well. So I hope you enjoy this. Without further ado, let's get cooking. To a thick bottomed pan, I add a little bit of oil, butter and red Kashmiri chili powder. I feel like the Kashmiri chili powder is crucial because it gives that lovely fiery red orange color. You can add more butter if you like, but I think this is enough. To this, I add my chopped onions and a little bit of ginger garlic paste, and I just mix it all together and let it cook for a bit. I then add in my spices, a little bit of haldi, a little bit of coriander powder, followed by some cumin powder and garam masala. And then I sometimes add a little bit more red chili powder if I want more color, if there isn't enough color, but you don't have to. So I mix it all together and I add a little bit of water just so that it doesn't burn, but it cooks well and all the spices mix together and the onions completely mashed down. To that, I then add my chopped capsicum and mix it all up together. Cook for about a minute or so before then adding the rest of my chopped tomatoes. I like to mix well for say about 5 minutes, and I keep adding a little bit of water in case it dries up, just so that everything mixes well and doesn't burn. The idea is to make this almost like a mashed stew, so you want to let the vegetables cook down for as long as you can. So I'd cook this with some water for an easy 7 to 8 minutes before moving ahead. Now, while I was doing the vegetable mixture in my pressure cooker, I have boiled my cauliflower and potatoes with just a little bit of salt, and then once it's cooked, I've used a potato masher to mash it down completely. You can, if you like, use an emulsion blender or just pop it in a mixer, but I think this does the trick. Just a potato masher is good enough. I then use the same potato masher to mash down my vegetable mixture just a little bit. I do like some pieces, but you want to try and get it as smooth as possible. Again, you can use a blender to make this easier, but this works for me. You then just add that potato and cauliflower mash right in with the rest of the vegetables and give it all a fantastically good mix. I would cook this for say another 5 to 6 minutes, just because I like mine really mashed down and I want all the vegetables to break down, and I like a little bit of body to my Pav Bhaji. But if you don't, then of course you can use a blender and make it completely smooth. This might look like it's a little bit too watery, but I like it like that. It thickens up a little bit later, but of course you could add less water if you wanted. I just finish it off with a little bit of chopped coriander, and this is good to go. Now it's time to work on our pav. So for the pav, I just slice it in half and I butter it on both sides. I put it over a tawa or just a pan on the stove and let it crisp up about a minute and a half on each side. You just flip it over and let it cook, and it toasts a little bit. You can of course add more butter if you like. You can add some red chili powder to give it more flavor in the butter. Entirely up to you, but this is good enough for me. And there you go, your pav bhaji is ready. You've got your toasted pav, you've got your bhaji. I like to top it with some chopped onion and coriander. And this is my kind of homemade, rustic, simple and slightly healthy pav bhaji. So that's really it for my recipe. I hope you enjoy this. I hope it turns out delicious when you try it. I hope you do try it. If you like this, make sure to hit the like button and leave me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. I really do. And of course, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you soon.